Hello Gemini, this is your reading for June 2017. Just starting off with a nice scene of natural light through the window there. Oh, and my little glass and it's a copper wrapped glass bulb, so string of lights. So that's my little light that I use at night, and since it's still early in the morning, I still have those plugged in, but I will have to use the overhead light just because it doesn't start getting quite nice light in here until about around 10 maybe. So like I said, it's 8:32. So, but I just wanted to show that beautiful scene of sunlight through the leaves there on the tree, and just a moment of stillness and silence before we get started. Okay, so let's see what the cards have in store for you, Gemini, for June. Happy birthday to those of you who have birthdays in June. And let's see what's coming in for you. All right, Gemini, one card from here, unless dictated otherwise by our team of benevolence that's helping us out with this reading. So this will be the focus energy, this card, okay, the main card. These will be 3 enhancers, okay, to enhance the main energy for June for you. And this is a message of love, okay, so one card from here as well. And I just shuffled really well. I do in between each reading, but just to break up the energies, but I shuffle on camera as well. So we'll see if any pop for you, and then what specific aspects of the main energy that you're being asked to focus on. Okay, well, the Hanged Man, it came out but kind of reluctantly, so I'm getting kind of like there's a reluctance happening, Gemini. Let's just see what cards are right here. Death card, Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups. Okay. Reluctance. Okay, there was the Six of Cups, which is pleasure in this deck, but it usually is you know, a card of that innocent love. It could be reunion, so it could be romantic reunion as well, or just, you know, not just, but, or, you know, family, friends, whatever, anyone that you would enjoy seeing again. Someone who maybe you have an attachment to from the past or your childhood. Yeah, a reluctance. Because here's the Prince of Wands. Okay, so there's like this reluctance to move forward. Some kind of something that you're passionate about, perhaps a person, okay, because that Six of Cups, when I opened the deck like that, it was Six of Cups. Just to give me more clarity. So there might be a reluctance to let yourself fully express the passion that you have for something or someone. There's a Nine of Pentacles at the top, okay? So that could be like, you know, very luxurious energy, really enjoying your life, your environment, and being in your body. You feel good in your body. This is like really good energy. Your tangible reality, your environment, your home, your body, okay. It feels tangibly luxurious. That with the Knight of Wands, this very fiery, passionate, with reluctance. There could be either, for some of you, maybe you have a lot of money, so you don't want to make another mistake in a relationship and just move too fast, or whatever mistakes we make, you know, whatever mistake you think that you made in the past, maybe it cost you a lot of money, divorce, or, you know, or perhaps you came into a lot of money, so you want to really be careful about who you marry. It could also be the reluctance because you're not aware of how valuable this person actually is. Or you're very aware of how valuable this person is, but you're reluctant for another reason. Perhaps because they remind you of your past. Maybe you didn't have some great memories in your past. Maybe you didn't have a great childhood. Welcome to the club. But Gemini, you know, you're very in tune with that playful side. You see the dark and the light, so as long as you keep it balanced, you know, you're very in tune with that inner child. So usually don't have a problem following your passion. You get interested in something and you go for it, but there's a reluctance. It could have to do with your perception, because this can be the way you're seeing things. Maybe you're kind of seeing it upside down. You don't really see how much even more gain going with your passion, how much more that's going to bring in for you. It'll be more rewarding than you could have ever imagined. Even if your life's this right now, it's this times this, you know. And whether that's a project or a person, we'll see, you know. Maybe that's because that's kind of what I'm getting, is there's a reluctance to move forward with someone you're passionate about, because you don't see the gain, because it's not right here and right now. It's in the future. So don't let something that's sitting there waiting for you in the future keep you from moving forward now, because the moves that you make now are going to lead to that, okay? One way or the other, what God has set up for you is going to come for you, okay? So good or bad. In Gemini, you have that, okay? This side, that side. You can hang with the hangman, okay? You can hang there because it's in your nature to sort things, what's good, what's bad, what I like to say is what hurts and what helps, okay? Because good and bad is a judgment, but we know in our heart what hurts and what helps, what hurts us and what helps us, what hurts others and what hurts nature and what helps nature. what would hurt God and what would help God. Okay, and he's hanging from this immortal Ankh. I just saw the, okay, so it's like, and there's like serpents all around, which represents the womb, the divine feminine, the wisdom, okay? And it's kind of like a 4. And 4 is the number of the angels. The earth, very grounded. 4, the square. Oh, and I just saw this square. I've never seen that before in this card. And that green, very healing. That violet, very high vibration, very healing, through the heart chakra. Okay, connection with source. That purple, that violet, that's the crown chakra. That's how we're these eternal, immortal. This is the Ankh of immortality. We're eternal beings of light. Okay, and this green, that's the heart chakra. Okay, the violet is the crown chakra. We maintain the balance in between the light and the dark. Okay, the in between the crown and the root. And it's always green and gold have been coming up a lot together in the last, like, I'd say maybe a month or so. I've been getting that color combination, maybe longer. I don't know. Time is just so everything everywhere all the time. So let's see, when we realize how we are these eternal beings of light, we are this high vibration, and that comes from being heart-centered. That green, okay, we have to be in our heart-centered and our heart center and balanced. Okay, 3 chakras above, 3 chakras below. The green, the anahata, the heart chakra. When we're here and we're balanced, then we're receiving the higher messages from God, the eternal being of light, our higher self. Okay, that helps us maintain that balance. Heart-centered Christ consciousness, the golden, the green, they go together because that golden Christ consciousness, Christos means gold, golden, heliocrisum is golden sun, sunflower, heliocrisum, gold. Okay, that golden Christ consciousness comes from being heart-centered. That's why green and gold go so well together, because that's how you maintain that highest vibration, represented by the purple. Okay, it's also the golden consciousness. Gold and purple are perfect complements on the color wheel, opposite each other. These are very important colors. So as long as you're coming from that heart center, you're perceiving things clearly. So reluctance, that just has to do with fear, or coming from a place that's not heart centered. So whatever, there may be some clearing you need to do in order to get there. But if you are there, there's no fear, there's no reluctance necessary. It's just the way this came out of the deck. It was like slow, like maybe you're starting to ease out of being upside down, and you've learned some things from, being forced to gain some perspective, because that's major arcana. So you've come to this higher awareness of what it takes to master that balance, because everything good comes from balance. That, prophetic dreams, all your intuition, all these gifts come back to you. You start manifesting, you're mastering your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your life is reflecting. Okay, so you're feeling good and balanced internally, your environment is reflecting that. This is about self-mastery, having to be upside down and gain a different perspective, all the way this way, all the way that way. That's what Gemini does. So you bring it back to center, having gained all that knowledge all the way to the extreme and back. Okay, and then all the way this way to the extreme and back, and then you pull it into center. Now you're ready to come out of the hangman position and turn that Ankh right side up. 4, share that angelic sorry if this keeps getting out of the shot. I'm not even paying attention. I'm just, the messages are flowing in. I'm not even looking at the card in the camera. So this 4, that's the angels. That's when you realize your I am presence. Okay, you're an eternal being of light. 4 is number of the angels. So let's see. So that Hangman, that was a deep message from that one card. And especially how it's like you're emerging out of that. It's like a slow emergence out of this feeling of being stagnant. But it was a divine gift from God, because look at what you learned there. For those of you who resonate with that message, there's, you know, okay. 4 of Wands. That's what I'm saying. That foundation, the angels, represents the earth. What you do here on earth, let it represent your highest good, your spirit, your higher self. The eternal being of light that you are, ground that into the earth. 4 of Wands. You build your home through your heart. And you let that reflect your internal, eternal, I was going to say eternal, but internal and eternal light, okay? It's internal, and then you reflect it outward. You manifest that light into form. Crystalline, so, you know, the wood, everything you use to build your home, you build it through your heart. So we have the King of Wands. It's interesting that the Fool is right there, because I was gonna say, and I don't think I said it, but it stuck out a little as I was shuffling. So I was gonna say this brought you back to your heart center, your authenticity. That's what I was gonna say about the Fool, and so that just confirmed that message. And there you go. So it's like, here's a tower, you're upside down, just like the Hangman. You know, it's a divine gift. They're major arcana, so it's a gift from God. Yeah. It's gonna awaken you to all that's available to you. It's gonna be amazing, that 9 of Pentacles, how much is available to you. So much that God provides. And it's going to ignite a passion inside of you that's going to attract others that have that same spark, okay? King of Wands was on the bottom when the 4 of Wands flipped out, so he's like the farmer king. He's very down to earth, very rooted in the earth, okay? And that goes perfectly with the 4 of Wands. He's like the more traditional, the rural, in this deck, rural, R-U-R-A-L, rural, like urban, rural, whatever. So he's like, you know, traditional, rural. He manifests through his heart, and here's the magician. He knows all the resources that are available to him. It's like magic when you come into that realization, and it's through this process of, you know, letting spirit work through you. So you can become aware of this higher knowledge and all the resources available to you because of coming into that awareness. So they've always been there. It's like they're not there if we're not aware of them, right? And for some reason, I wanted to pull the top card. The bride offers herself. So it's like the divine feminine part of all of us, man, woman, gay, straight, whatever, it doesn't matter. The divine feminine internally surrenders herself. See how her arms are kind of wide open? I was going to shuffle, whatever reason, and this is funny because this as I was shuffling it, it showed itself off camera in between the readings. So this is surrender, okay? Definitely. What's on the bottom? God speaks, yeah. Surrender so you can listen to God, and because God is speaking to you, Gemini, trying to show you how powerful you are in manifesting, tapping into these resources. That's what the magician knows. He knows all this is available to him for him to create this magic. Okay? When you create from your heart, just very simply, it's very simple. Okay? He's a very simple king, the King of Wands. He's very passionate, very heart-centered. He knows what's available to him, and he builds right from his heart. Right out of his heart comes his reality. But it comes from surrendering, offering yourself as a bride to Christ, bride to God, however you want to say it. There's no religion or anything. I was agnostic my whole life, but I've come to know Christ, and I love Jesus and God, and through a process of healing, I mean, God blessed me with an illness and lots of lessons to get me to a really good place where I am today. So I know God is real. I know this process works. So a huge, one of the, probably maybe the biggest part of the process is surrendering to it. That's the first step. But I think you can see that clearly, and as a Gemini, if you're not, you can easily tap into that. 4, right? Was I not getting that? And then the 4 of Wands flipped out. So, intimacy. So intimacy is getting in tune, intimate. The inward mate, being a mate with yourself, being one with yourself. Okay? And then you learn how to do that through this process. You surrender to it. Then you share it with the world. You can't shine your light bright if it's dull. It has to be shining bright, and that comes from within. It shines from within outwardly. I just said light, and look at what the next top card was. Eruption of light. So you're harnessing that light, making it work for you, because it's an eruption for you right now. Lots of epiphanies maybe for Gemini, and it's your season right now. So, I mean, that makes sense. So, all right. I think that was pretty magical, you guys. That doesn't mean this is going to be an easy process, but the rewards, the gain, okay? Remember that 9 of Pentacles. That's very important, okay? Sometimes that's the only thing that gets you through, knowing that when you're doing the right thing, you're surrendering to the process, surrendering to God, getting stronger, building those higher virtues, okay? Learning how to manifest your life just exactly how you want it, straight from your heart, okay? Because that's how you, if you're manifesting really from anywhere else, it's not going to be what you truly want. Maybe for a second, but not, because what we truly want is what's in our heart. Sometimes our ego interrupts that flow, and so God will step in when necessary and ask us to please surrender so I can help you. And then when we go through this process, trust and allow, we receive the gain from it. Then it gives us faith and hope to keep going forward, because we're trusting in the process, because we've been through it. We can reflect back on it and say, yes, it does work. And we trust and have faith and allow when we need to go through another process, because we can see from reflecting back that it works. and how it works and what the first step is, which is surrender. So maybe you're having a little bit of reluctance with surrendering to the divine. God's trying to speak to you because you love, Gemini, you love that whimsy, that magic, that, you know, so you want more of that. You need to surrender to some things because there's a lot of gain in it for you. Yeah, and it's going to be associated with a lot of driving passion, okay, in the wands. Four of Wands, King of Wands. So, trust in the process, receive, allow the information to come into you, okay? Get in the stillness and silence, maybe do some meditating, more so this month in June, okay? And you will receive the answers for yourself. That's the only advice I ever really give anyone, is get in the stillness and silence, and you'll be amazed what you and God come up with. All right, so Gemini, I love you, bless you, thank you, and hopefully you will join me again next month for your July monthly. So I hope at least one of you got at least one thing out of that. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful ride. It's a beautiful process, surrendering to the divine, and I can tell you from experience. So, no question, no doubt in my mind that God knows best, and just trust in the process, okay? God will get you through it, all the pain, everything, all of it. The frustration, the reluctance, you can pray for help with reluctance, surrendering to the process, and you'll get help with that, okay? So, all right, Gemini, I love you, bless you, peace be upon you, and see you again soon, hopefully.